Are you overthinking your engineering major, worried you've picked the wrong one, or maybe can't even bring yourself to choose one at all? Then I'm here to tell you it doesn't matter. Now you may be thinking, wait a minute, are you out of your mind? And I did in fact get out of my head a bit and took inspiration from my amazing friend Liz Rowe, who's also an engineer with a YouTube channel and who I recently got to interview for the Fresh Engineer podcast.
You have to balance between overthinking it and underthinking it. Because you can overthink all day and be like, oh, I want to have the perfect job at the perfect industry and the perfect manager. And then you can also underthink it and be like, I just need a job. Just give me anything. So it's a mix.
Although she was talking about finding your first engineering job, I think the same can be said for picking your major. Now, I have clearly covered the overthinking side. I did spend over 100 hours making a video where I dress up as different kinds of engineers to help explain the differences between them. And I even learned JavaScript and coded my own career quiz to help you choose your major. Enough is enough. No more overthinking. Today we're gonna give underthinking a chance and just pick one already. To help us with that, I've collected 5 reasons why your engineering major doesn't matter. Reason number 1. The first year of engineering school is basically the same for all engineering majors. They all start out with more or less the same classes, such as math classes like calculus and linear algebra, and in many cases basic physics classes like mechanics and electrical engineering. This makes it easy to switch to a different engineering major later on in your studies without having to start from zero. So by starting just any of the different engineering majors, you can get a better picture of all the different kinds of engineering. And if you realize that a different major might be better for you, then you can often make the switch after 1 or even 2 years without losing much time, if any. But please check with your university how it works there. Reason number 2. There are many ways to Rome and to your dream engineering job. So far, I haven't heard of a single engineering job where they only hire you if you studied one specific major. Usually, companies have a list of majors that they think is most fitting for a specific role, but there's always some flexibility there, especially if you have other qualifications or skills that they're looking for. For example, I studied mechanical engineering and I've been working as a process engineer doing the same job as colleagues who studied electrical engineering, manufacturing engineering, chemical engineering, material science, engineering physics, and even chemistry. And I've seen similar situations in lots of different engineering roles. Of course, you can shape your career with your engineering major, but it doesn't end there. Not even close. I would go as far as saying that what you do after university matters much more for your career than your specific engineering major. And if you really want to go into a different engineering field, your engineering major is not going to hold you back as long as you're willing to teach yourself some basics and just show how interested and motivated you are, so you can have some trust that even if you make a wrong decision along the way or realize that a different type of engineering would suit you better, you can easily change paths. I think this is even how most great careers are built, and not by making the perfect decision in the beginning. Reason number 3. They're all based on the same principles and engineering mindset. In my job, I probably only use 5% of the stuff I learned in engineering school. You know, all the specific engineering methods and formulas, softwares and technologies, blah blah blah, 5%. And that's being generous. But I use 100% of the engineering mindset I started building in university and have continued to develop since then. The engineering mindset is the same across all engineering disciplines. All engineers work with defining requirements, breaking problems down into smaller sub-problems, moving from a conceptual design to a specific design, implementing solutions, and doing lots of iterations to get to the optimal solution. The specifics of an engineering field are learnable with some time and effort, but the mindset is something that's more difficult to teach, but impossible to forget once you learn it. So, if you're changing fields, just Google the out of that new field to learn as much as you can of the specifics that you're missing. And be confident, because what you're already bringing to the table is the part that's most difficult, your engineering mindset. Reason number 4, you probably don't understand the differences between the different engineering majors anyway. And I hope this doesn't come across the wrong way. I think it's just really difficult to understand what engineering is and what the differences between the different majors are when you're on the outside. I mean, at least when I was picking my engineering major, I honestly didn't understand how mechanical engineering is different from civil engineering, industrial engineering, or electrical engineering, and which one might be best for me. So I just made a random choice. I think this is still the better option compared to waiting until you understand the differences, because waiting will never get you there. The best way to figure out what the different types of engineering really are and which one is best for you is to just take your best guess and start studying that one. You won't just understand your own major better, but you will automatically also learn about all the other programs. And maybe you guessed wrong and need to make a change, which we already covered is not a big deal. But I think there's something that's even more likely to happen, which brings me to my next point. Reason number 5, you will like what you become good at. It's natural for us to enjoy the things that we understand, the things that we're good at. As you spend more and more time studying your engineering major, you will probably become pretty good at it. Now, your grades might not be that good. That's not what I'm talking about. What I mean is that compared to the average person or a person from a different field, you're gonna know a lot about your field, and you're gonna realize that the more you get to work with people from other fields. This happened to me for sure. In the first 2 years, I felt like I was pretty bad at all of this. I wasn't that great at the math and physics basics that you need to study in those 2 years, and my grades were much worse than those of my friends. But then over time, as I got to do more projects with other people from other disciplines and was able to lean into my interests more with some elective courses, I realized, oh, I am getting pretty good at this, actually. I've learned more than I've realized. This is starting to be fun. So whichever major you choose, you will likely enjoy it more and more as you naturally get good at it. And if that's not the case at all, then you know what to do. Change your major. Now, what's next? Even though we've seen that it doesn't matter so much which engineering major you study, you still have to pick one, right? You can't just study them all at the same time. Hopefully you're already leaning towards one of them. Now you have the confidence to just go for it. But if you still have no idea which one to choose, you might want to know which engineering major is the best if you just really can't decide, which I discuss in this video right here.